Hey people, Darth Swamp here, and welcome to episode, I believe, 13 of Danganronpa 2. Last time, we started our first class trial, and in this episode, we're going to continue our class trial. So anyways, let's get move on, okay? No issue there, okay? I'm recording still, good. If I got the episode number wrong, I'll merely put a thing. I'll name it correctly. It's just I'll have it in the description. Okay. Now, anyways, speaking of
what the body looked like when we found it under the table.
Anyways, I'm going to be doing a longer episode today because just when it comes to trials, I can afford to make the episode longer since just less voice. I'd have to do less voice work. That is just that more dynamic that way.
Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Oh, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
Oh my gosh! I can just imagine Hiyoko with Hiro. Couldn't you just imagine her responding to him? She'd be just telling him. She'd be sending him notes every night. Please, just end your life and make ours better.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
As if that table could fit him.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party.
Hajime, why aren't you responding? I mean, freaking, you're putting Nagito on the thing. Is it the ultimate lucky student's role to take control of the child? The reason Byakuya dove under the table, if it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably night vision goggles. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna probably say this. I'm gonna say the knife.
I can prove it with this! It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there, so in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
Glow in the dark paint.
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Oh, that skewer! That's the real murder weapon! And who probably had access to that skewer that was missing before Teru got to the kitchen? Nagito!
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
During the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there are, there will be one live contradiction in the debate at a time. This means that there will be false weak spots? If you shoot a false weak spot with a truth bullet, not only will you fail to repeat what was said, but you also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will fail, so please be extra careful. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or mistakes. Also, you can concentrate by holding down the R button. You can progress the argument slowly. Please use it whenever you feel like the statements are moving too fast for you to aim. I heard this does consume focus aids, so please be careful. If you press the start button during these arguments, you can review the control. Well then, good luck and have fun! Make your argument. Okay. Let's just see the argument first.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table. During the blackout. That sounds correct.
If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Hamhands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black!
Oh.
It was so dark I couldn't see my food.
Night
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
Boom!
No,
Night dive.
that's wrong!
Please tell me that was an actual thing and not some one of the fake statements
No,
there.
Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
If he was using those night vision goggles we found under the table, he could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
What? That's not a fake? Wait, I was broken, what the?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
Then I didn't see! Which spies on the yard who's on Yes! This is between you and me. I was also surprised. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you will need to go into one of the rebuttal then. This way you'll have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the left stick. Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally. What the heck? And based on you can skew the debate's mode to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew towards their advantage. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a number will show the sharpness of the select. This is the number of times you can cut the remarks during one debate. You will lose count of the sharpness even if you miss, so please careful. When the mute skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes. This means that the conversation will develop. If that happens, it will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you can not only cut response to their weak spots, is that it will skew the mood towards the other party's advantage. Plus, it's going to be very big. Just like a regular debate, please repeat any weak spots with the Y button. Of course, if you don't have the correct truth blade, you won't be able to cut the opponent's remark. Huh? What's a truth blade? Oh god, what is this? Some anime shoujin sort of thing? I don't know. I'm terribly sorry. It appears that there has been a delay in contacting you. I will make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long vacation. In this mode, truth bullets will be called truth blades. That's about it. There won't be any other change to your emblem behind it. The only name was changed, but don't you feel it? If you first start right during these arguments, you can feel the controls. Now, good luck and have fun. I'm gonna fail this, Polly. Can I please see the controls?
If you just use comments, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back words, I'm just listening. I should let Miharu say what she wants and then find when I can
If
argue.
you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
What the? I'm trying to see what it
If
is!
you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I'm trying to respond!
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I'm just trying to cut through! What are you trying to
If
say?
you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I'm just trying. I told Miharu to say what she wants
If you
to say.
just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
What do you want from me?
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
Oh. What the? Freaking damn her!
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
Yes! Advance!
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
I don't know!
Damn it!
If you just use common sense. killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
Forget this woman! She's gonna be the Taka of this. Or is it she?
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
That's my whole argument. I'm sure Byakuya brought the night vision goggles. I need to refute.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
I'm trying! I'm trying! I know what to do! I'm just trying to do this!
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
I'm just trying to do the damn game! Advance!
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Yes, I get it!
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Okay, I'm seeing the damn thing. Okay, overturn, fast forward, fire, truth blade. Flash in the direction you put.
Because if they used night, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's so those goggles were planned in advance.
Oh!
The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Yes!
Cut through those
Okay! That's how you do it, okay.
No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night
Okay,
vision goggles.
Mahiru, you're back on Byakuya. You're back on Taka list. Making me suffer.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Or the first person.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for...
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Don't you look at Sonya.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
The knife was brought in during the Duralumin case along with the night vision goggles too. No, that's not possible. The knife was hidden inside the dining hall before the party was over. I should be able to prove it. The duct tape.
I see!
Damn, truth
There was
blade.
duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a
Your
little
attitude?
cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Freaking Gundam, did they pick you up out of Anime Town?
You think so too, right, Hajime?
That's right, Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility of murder would occur. Let's find that letter. Jackie's account. Murder threats. Yes, presented.
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Yes, the note.
The hell is this?
A note.
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Kush, one that you would made a Kazuichi remark.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies!
It doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer? Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night
They
vision
were close to
goggles.
the table and it was glow-in-the-dark tape.
But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
No, the killer definitely used a mark. And because of this mark, the killer was able to get the knife from on the table into his hand. Glowing paint.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you, Peko Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
I am not the killer.
Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
You tell them you can.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
By turning the breaker directly from the office, Peko was the one who caused the blackout. Is that really what happened? After this debate, blue card weak spots will start appearing. That's the way to do mechanics! If we call the weak spots you've seen up to now argue spots, the blue card's weak spots will be called agree spots. When shooting agree spots with truth bullets, you need to flip your way of thinking. Instead of arguing that the other person's testimony contains lies and mistakes, please fire the truth bullets that prove the other person's testimony is correct. When your truth bullets merge with their weakness, it will become a logically sound argument. Isn't that a little hot in here? For now on, you must infer whether it's best to argue or agree based on what's being debated. If you press the start button during these arguments, you're really controlled. I don't know anymore! Stop throwing new mechanics every 3 seconds! Okay, Terumaru. It's probably Terumaru.
Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Okay, I just need to check a few things. Okay, Teru's account. The gas is powered by the electricity, that's why he couldn't have used it. Okay, Chiaki's account. Came to the building, then walked away. And finally he's able to interact with Byakuya's body.
Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Okay. Just from listening to Peiko's testimony, it's not weird to doubt her, but I feel like I spoke to someone during the investigation who totally backs up her testimony.
Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time!
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
Consent? Oh my gosh, she was in the bathroom! We're reading that up! We're judging that
I
up!
think Peko is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Peko.
Oh, like you're one to make fun of people and their crushes? Miss
It's
Little
nothing like
Knight?
that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Peko's alibi.
I've been trying to use it many times, but the door won't open at all!
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started, and it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Peko was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Peko.
I guess that would be true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier!
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you are so insensitive.
Oh, freaking blah, nag, nag, nag. That's all you do, my hero. Then bring up sword fights. Freaking, yeah, congrats. You're now female Taka. Little Junko, you're out. Mahiru, you're in. Congrats.
She locked herself in the bathroom for that long? There's no doubt. It's shit.
I like how you're just so blunt, matter-of-fact about this.
Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners? Or were you raised in a locker room?
And were you raised in Taka's home?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry. The smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
Teru? Care to tell us anything?
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited?
Teru, we need an ultimate therapist. Just someone to help
Seriously, stop it.
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Laxatives?
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
The question is whether Pico's stomachache was a coincidence or someone intentionally caused it. Depending on the answer, the outcome to the shot could change drastically. Okay, yeah, I saw something splash on my screen, so like that's why I was just checking to make sure everything was good. Okay, nice AC timer, embarrassing pose, party dishes. What the? Keep that out. They're giving us lots of options.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird.
Now that you mention it...
I just want to check the evidence quickly. Yeah. in the middle of the dining hall. I don't think that's gonna be the pose. Akane and Pico were the only ones who ate them.
You brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
No.
Taro cooking
Oh,
food,
come
how
on, I missed.
suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that.
No, you wouldn't put laxatives in the food.
Laxatives would ruin the taste.
I'm trying to basically clarify that. I
Did
know
you
that's the
eat
party
anything
issue.
weird?
I don't remember eating.
Now that you brought food to the office.
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Boom!
No, that's wrong.
Break it. The break's happening much faster, ironically enough, than the last game.
No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall.
And of course, Miharu, she's in her nag pose.
Because Pekka wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine.
Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
I apologize for causing a scene.
Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
There's this bickering.
Let's just dismiss Pekko's stomachache as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout.
Okay, Mika.
Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us.
Frickin' Hiyoko, are you trying to compete with Miharu for the Miss Taka pageant?
Trashy skank?
Don't listen to me, Khan. As long as the murder happened during the blackout, then the blackout itself is what actually is important. So we need to make clear how the blackout occurred. Iron storage room. My guess is the irons.
Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Or maybe they caused a power surge?
Ah, here we go.
I agree with that.
I don't want consent with you, Miharu. Freaking making me do that swordplay. Freaking you soured
Just as
me.
Mahiru said, the blackout was
Nah.
caused by a power surge. Of course, that's not a coincidence. Someone caused it intentionally.
Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout.
When you found them right after the blackout, the irons were still on, right?
So by leaving those irons on in the storage room, they deliberately caused a power surge.
Yeah. It seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
Stupid fool!
Oh no, no more swords! No more swords!
Hold on a second, let me speak too!
No!
What the heck?
No more swords! No more swords!
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout?
Please!
That's inexcusable!
No! I don't want to use swords! Nah! AC timer. It's probably the AC timer.
If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
We're able to cause the blackout. That really narrowing down to suspect black guy's dangerous.
The irons in the storage room caused then for the killer to turn the irons on. You're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in the when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
Advance.
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to if the irons caused the black...
Okay, sorry.
Then the killer had to go to the storage room and turn on the iron! Now do you intend to take back what you said?
The truth is the irons were responsible for the blackout, but that shouldn't be the only reason.
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause the blackout. If the irons caused the blackout, then the killer had to go to the storage room before and turn on the iron. Now do you intend to take back
It's
what
the
you
AC
said?
timer!
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cope if the irons caused the blackout.
Allow me to cut through those
Okay,
words.
I'm at least getting used to the things.
The irons are
Woo,
just
I at least
one
lo-
reason
I'm
the
learning.
blackout occurred, but they weren't the direct trigger. The direct trigger was when the air conditioners in the dining hall and office clicked on.
The air conditioners!
The timers for both air conditioners were set to 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. Mr. Ham-Hands died around that time too!
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout. I see! I understand! Indubitably!
Indubitably?
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out.
And who had the time to do that, Nagito, other than the person who cleaned the building?
So once they set the air conditioner's timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own.
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it.
Dun dun dun!
Is she right? Such a hateful bear! You deserve to die 1,000 deaths!
Well, so far in the series he's died too.
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet!
No! I'm gonna be loud then!
Couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. But even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time. And maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach. Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
It's alright. You don't have to worry, because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys.
Being a little over dramatic, aren't you, Nagito? Huh?
There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will just be a stepping stone for you all. In the end, hope always wins. That's what I believe.
Seriously, they decided to make a creepier version of Makoto.
Nagito? What happened to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have been saying this whole time that there's no way a killer could be among us.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside for now and talk about the incident. For now, we found out how the blackout occurred. But the question is, who caused it,
Seriously,
right?
with that dramatic music, you're becoming all the more suspicious.
Anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya set foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that.
You were the one in charge of cleaning up the building and setting up the
What
party.
are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress.
Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long?
Unfortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killer. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be a killer.
You're changing your story again?
Anyway, I have an idea about what we all should do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others, isn't it better to get killed for believing in others?
Doesn't that mean... Are you saying we should all just give up and die?
Nagito, there's definitely something wrong with you.
You guys only think there's something wrong with me because there's something wrong with you.
Okay, I didn't think that they'd go this obvious. Maybe he's going off his rocker.
Suspecting each other like this. There's no way that's healthy behavior. Let's stop this already. We don't have to find out who the killer is. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do this to my friends.
I don't want to do this either.
Me too! Please, take me home already! I want to go home and eat candy!
Stop it. If everyone acts like this, I'm gonna...
Everyone calm down.
We're all friends, aren't we? There's no way one friend would murder another.
Then why did Byakuya die?
Who cares? Let's just give up already. There are no clues that lead to the killer anyway. Not a single one.
You cleaned up the apartment. You knew that there was something in Byakuya's cabin. Something is very wrong with you. Bring it good, Chiaki.
Did you say something?
Cause we've already found a clue that might point to who the killer is.
A clue, you say?
You know who the killer is?
The killer? I don't know. But we do have a clue about a suspicious person. I think.
I see. Then care to tell me, what's this clue you're talking about?
First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout.
Didn't we already cover that? They used glowing paint as a mark.
But when did they put the glowing paint on, and when did they tape the knife under the table?
No, not that. I mean before that.
Before? She asking how the killer got close to the table? Even if they had to obtain the knife by relying on the glowing paint to do that, they needed to get close to the table while it was still dark.
Let's try examining the situation. Mahiru's diagram might be useful here.
The diagram of where everyone was standing before the blackout, right? Here it is.
This diagram is the clue. And who the killer is, and how they were moved to the table in the dark. That's clearly shown in this diagram. First, we need to discuss how the killer was able to move to the table in the dark. The killer probably used something to help them move in the dark. Is it the lamp cord?
Here! The killer must have used the desk lamp to move to that table in the dark.
The desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used
the cord? Of course, there's no way he used the desk lamp. The killer used the power cord.
I can prove it with this. They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power cord.
Power cord?
They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table, then use the glowing paint to find the knife.
And there's only one person here who could have done that.
But who?
The only person here who have possibly done it. Where are you, Nagito?
You're the only one! Nagito, it was you, was
Me?
Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you.
Which means the only one who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito!
That's just a coincidence.
But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table?
That's what drew me to him in the first place. Nagito's chance to hide the knife under the table was when he was cleaning.
I see! Nagito, weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife.
That's...
If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it.
Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
If it was just one coincidence, it'd be fine. But when it's one right after another, I wonder, is something like that even possible?
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
Oh, now Mahiru's nagging.
Now
Good
that
job.
you mention it, Nagito did prepare the drawing to pick who cleaned the dining hall.
To be honest, I already prepared drawing because I assumed something like this would happen. To go to the trouble of preparing this, what do you think would happen? Whoever drops the chopstick with the red mark, I will be in charge of cleaning, okay? Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair?
You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining hall, isn't it?
I don't know if you're the killer or not, but regardless, it proves that you're suspicious, right?
If that's the case, that strange speech you made earlier, that was part of your plan too.
You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker?
Well,
Just admit it already!
Nagito, tell me you object to this. Frankly, I don't want to believe it either.
Frankly, I want to believe it! Because really, your voice is too similar to
We
Hajime's.
investigated together. You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya. Nagito, say something!
Please tell me he's not gonna have a breakdown. Oh! What is wrong with your eyes? What the fuck? Joker Makoto, freaking damn!
The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair of their friend's death!
Freaking get a freaking army! We need an army!
How wonderful! How beautiful it is!
Okay, we need a priest, a rabbi, and the Dalai Lama!
Huh?
No! Stop zooming in! And then Nagito's eyes, the darkness in his eyes show brightly as if layers upon layers of darkness are fading into each other. Forget, stop showing us them! And so with this red, we crudely mixed together.
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was my doing all along. I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started.
No comic book?
I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way to the table in the dark. And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout. After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
Is it just me, or does he seem a little nuts right now?
Cause that's coming from you. That's a true statement.
But I never expected Byakuya to have night vision goggles. Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And, well, you all saw how that played out. But with the twist ending like this, I think we can all agree this ended up being a very interesting mystery. Byakuya performed admirably.
Just stop it already! Seriously! What the hell happened to you?
Don't tell me. Is this your true nature? Were you lying to us this entire time?
Me? Lie? That's outrageous. There's no way someone like me could ever lie to you guys. I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. I'm too arrogant to have dreams or cling to hope. Too disdainful to actually try at anything. I've made peace with the fact that I'm a lowly, stupid, insignificant human who can't do anything right.
Holy crap! He's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood pets!
He seems like the sort of person whose eyes light up while watching Friday the 13th. Just like me.
That's quite the hobby you have there. But, like, now's not really the time to bring it up.
Hey, if you want to ask me to a movie, you at least know what to see with her. This guy, is he the real Nagito? Don't zoom in on those eyes!
Hey Nagito, if you were behind all of this, then did you also send that threatening letter?
Yep, I sure did. There's nobody else on this island whose handwriting is that painful to look at.
But why would you send a threatening letter in the first place?
I think, somewhere deep in my heart, I was probably hoping to find someone who would stop my evil deeds. Well, I bet if that really was my reason, at least some of you would feel sorry for me.
Are you making fun of us?
By threatening Byakuya, Nagito was likely able to manipulate his actions.
Then how about that outlook with Billy at the hotel? Well, if it's just clean, leave it to me. I'm actually pretty good at it.
In doing so, Nagito was able to manipulate everyone to the scene where the murder would occur. Am I wrong?
That reminds me. Nagito was the one who suggested I guard the office.
Well, not only is the storage room packed with lots of stuff, it's hard to see in there with a lot full of cobwebs. I was so busy cleaning the dining hall that I didn't even have time to clean the storage room. If you stay in there for too long, I think it'd be bad for your health. In that case, why don't you guard the case in the office?
Oh, I get it. If Pekka was guarding the storage room, Nagito wouldn't have been able to use the irons.
The threatening letter, along with all your suggestions. It was all a trap to manipulate us.
Yep, that's true too. But you're wrong about one thing.
And that one thing we'll find out next time. Anyways, I really appreciate you sticking around to watch this video. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this episode, like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever that you want. And with that, I will see you later. Bye.